My name is Mark Bialik, and I'm the Director of Membership and Post Operations at SAME headquarters, and I'll be available to assist you with any technical issues that may arise. If you have trouble connecting, please call WebEx at 1-866-229-3239. Once again, if you have trouble connecting, please call WebEx at 1-866-229-3239. During the presentation, please submit all of your questions through the Q&A box located on the right side of your monitor. Send your questions to all panelists, indicating which presenter the question is for. Once again, if you have a question, anytime during the webinar, please submit the question through the Q&A box located on the right side of your monitor. Not all questions will be answered during the live presentation, but we will do our best to ensure that a complete list of all questions and answers are sent out to all participants after the webinar. Finally, our webinar today has been recorded. Within 5 business days, you will receive an email providing a link to today's presentation. Once again, thank you for your participation. We appreciate it. I will now hand it over to Drew Shodell, Executive Director of SAME.
Thanks, Mark, and thanks to all of you for joining us today. This is a moment that we've all been waiting for to conduct this webinar. I want to start by thanking Jack Siebert, Jack, for 18 years of making the Atlantic Camp, which is a great collaboration between the Scouting Program, SAME, and many other organizations, Georgia Tech included. You guys have demonstrated what right looks like in putting together a regional camp. So the ability to capture for all to see how to do it is absolutely fundamentally important to this society. I want to thank you, I want to thank Mark and his team, and I also want to thank Justin Luter and Justin, I'll give you a chance at the end of this to say a few things, but I want to thank you up front for your great support in helping to pull together this webinar. A couple of thoughts. First of all, I think we all understand the long association that has existed between the military, not just the American military, but the military and the Boy Scouting program worldwide. I'm not going to give you a lesson in Baden-Powell in 1910 and what he did in response to the Boer Wars, but we all understand the importance of the Scouting program, not just to our national security, but also to developing strong citizens as adults. Now, when I say Scouting program, I'm also referring to the Girl Scout program, which we're going to be working hard, too, to pull into our family. And for those, especially the Scouters on the line, who don't know me, I am an Eagle Scout. My son is an Eagle Scout. We both made it at the age of 13. Been up to district commissioner and all those kinds of positions, and 34 years in the United States Army. So I, probably more than most people, really understand the importance of the association we have and that we're melding now between Scouting programs and other youth programs and this society. So thanks again for partnering with us. Let me just emphasize that as we move forward, what's our vision? What we want to accomplish is a couple of things. First, I want to see more camps like this produced around the country. And it's important that we do this for the sake of helping to grow more professional engineers and grow more citizens who can contribute to our society. So with 105 posts, I believe the Atlanta Post has set the standard, and we want to replicate this around the country. So local camps, and then the other piece I want to kind of whet your appetite for is, I'm in discussions with the senior executives of the Boy Scouting program to ultimately set up a national STEM camp on the order of 3,000 young Americans. We're going to get there. May not be next year, but maybe the year after. So 2 big pieces of our vision, more local camps and a national STEM camp to really get the nation understanding what we need to do. So the last thing I'd say is, this Q&A is intended to help everybody understand how to do it. I believe that the Atlanta Post, under Jack's leadership, has set the standard on how to do it. And at the end of this, there'll be plenty of time for questions and answers. I like the way Jack has structured this. Keep his pitch short, so we'd encourage you to ask your questions as they come up. So let me pass this off now to Justin and say thanks again, Justin, for all of your help in pulling this together. And thanks, every one of you. God bless you for what you're doing, and God bless this country. Thanks. Justin.
You know what? Let's go right to Jack Siebert. I apologize. We might have a drop-off there. Jack, I'm sorry. Please go ahead.
So thank you for the introduction. I appreciate those comments. For everybody on the webinar, thank you so much for signing in to hear about this camp that's been running now for 16 years. We've learned a lot of lessons during that time frame, and we hope to pass some of those lessons on to you today. We started this program 20 years ago almost. 16 years ago was our first camp. We formed a partnership with the Atlanta Council, the Atlanta Area Council of the Boy Scouts, and their Learning for Life program at that time, because their mission was very similar to that of SAME and in mentoring young people to find careers in their lives. So, the first slide here. I'm not able to move the slides. There we go. It moved. So the first slide, we'll go through this a little bit. As everyone knows, you can't start a program without a post-champion. So the first thing is find a champion. What I tell you is that champion needs to be committed for at least 3 to 5 years to start this program off. A couple of years of planning and then a couple of years of running the first few programs. That leads to sustainability. You also need a willing scout leader. We have a great relationship with the Atlanta Area Council Learning for Life program, but the scouts know how to safely handle young people. They provide us in our program liability insurance. They provide us youth protection training. They set up the application on their website, and they're able to efficiently and safely handle money from the registration fees. So it's a great relationship between the Atlanta Post and the Boy Scouts here at the Atlanta Area Council. The other thing that's very useful is to have a local college or university in the program. We've found over the years that the high school kids are thrilled to be on a campus for a week. They want to become college kids as soon as possible, and so that is a big draw for joining the program. You need multiple venues in your local area. So the program works best probably in a large metropolitan area, but it can work anywhere. It just depends on the venues that you have available. Over the years, we didn't go very far in the program outside of the local campus area that we use, which is Georgia Tech, because it's downtown. But we've also found that we don't want to put students on a bus for more than about an hour to go outside of the basic city to view a venue. We want to take them to exciting engineering events that spark to turn on in their mind, so that they go off and pursue a career in college that is technical, engineering, and STEM related. We found over the years too that manufacturing facilities are great venues for conducting tours for the students. Many of those facilities have lots of robotic activities that encourage the students to study engineering in college. We've also used amusement parks. Their engineers there help design the rides and make those rides safe. In the Metro Atlanta area over the years, we've used Lockheed Manufacturing Plant where they make the C-130s. We've used Six Flags where they learn how rides are made safe. We've used the Atlanta Aquarium where they see the operations of maintaining the water systems that support all the fish. We've used our local subway system, MARTA, to show them how subways are maintained and what engineers do in running subway systems and operating centers. We take them to Delta headquarters where they get a tour of their operations and the operation of jet engines, and also get a tour of the Hartsfield International Airport and learn what engineers do on an airport and do to maintain jets and to run our transportation systems. We take them to Georgia Power, where they are shown what an electrical company does during emergency situations and how they operate during floods and tornadoes or hurricanes. We take them also to Emory University, where we introduce them to bioscience tour. We take them to local water and sewer treatment facilities, such as Clayton County and the city of Atlanta. And of course, we spend one day just on the Georgia Tech campus, and we have the professors and graduate students talk to them about architecture, civil engineering, mechanical engineering, aerospace engineering, industrial engineering, and other activities that are going on the campus. Now, what do you need to be doing in your first year? The first year, the key members, 5 key staff members at least, your champion needs to bring those together, and you need to start regular monthly meetings. That leads to sustainability of the program. It's essential to build this commitment early on with the 5 key members. The 5 key members include the SAME champion, a BSA champion, someone from the university community that knows a university in your area well and can reach into that university to get venues set up. It's also helpful to have a local industry contact, somebody that's very good with the local industry. And then you need a couple of technical people, someone that's good with a budget and someone that can run an Excel spreadsheet. We use Excel to do our scheduling for the week-long process. Next, you need to develop an anticipated budget. It's recommended in the early years to keep the budget low. We tried to keep the events within an early radius of the Georgia Tech campus to do that. As the program grows, you can move to more expensive activities that you feel the students in your community can afford. Colleges and universities are businesses. They charge for everything they do. Keep that in mind. Most professors at the university will donate their time, but often they have graduate students that help with their programs that they're showing to the students, and those graduate students sometimes need to be paid. We recommend establishing a date for the camp, a date that will be reoccurring each year. We chose the first week of June because here in the metro Atlanta area, high schools get out the end of May. It's very important to capture the students before their other summer activities take place, before they start getting tied up with sport activities and vacations. So we picked that first week. It also worked well with our university, Georgia Tech, as their summer programs are in operation at that time, and they have plenty of dorms and eating facilities available for us to run our program through. Next, you need to develop an advertising plan. This is the most difficult part, was getting the word out about our camp in the local area. We found that the best sources of communications and where most of our applicants come from are through PTA organizations. The scouting staff have great contacts with young kids all over the community. We advertise through engineering firms and the local engineering societies. We were disappointed to find out that school counselors, while they'll accept everything we give them to advertise the program, they're overcommitted in most cases, and they don't do a good job of advertising our program for us. We also use engineering magazines as a way of publication for the camp. All right, you got to start outlining your program. There are 3 key parts that we put into the program. On the first day when the students arrive, it's always great to have a team building activity that evening so that the students get to know each other before the program begins. The last thing we do also is very key to the sustainability of our program, and that is when the parents come to pick their kids up on Friday afternoon, we have a dinner for the parents and the kids. Over the years, the parents have told us the kids never tell them what they were doing at the camp. The children don't tell them what they were doing at the camp. So we show them in that dinner what the kids have been doing all week, and the parents can interact with the children at that time. We do a video show of all of the pictures that have been taken during that time, and the students can point out to their parents what they've been doing. The parents become our advertisement for future camps and for additional people to join the program. We also include one evening of something unrelated completely to the engineering and STEM camp, just a fun activity. We, over the years, have taken the students to bowling or to a Braves game in the evenings. The last thing you have to do this first year is get an electronic application developed and put on the website. We have copies of the ones that we've used over the years in the Word format so that they're available to you to work from. Now, what should you be doing the second year of your committee meetings? You got to lock in your program to begin in the third year. It's essential to confirm all your programs for the next year. Talk to all your providers, get their commitments, make sure you have all their costs associated with it. Make sure you understand all your transportation needs to get the students to these events. Talk to your speakers and your event people and make them understand what you're trying to get across to the students. That is, inspire them to find a technical engineering STEM career and pursue it in college. What we do is, as we've grown over the years, is we designate a volunteer coordinator for each day. Over the years, we tried to do this with different engineering societies and have Civil Engineering Society take Monday, Electrical Engineer Society take Tuesday, Mechanical Engineers take Thursday. That works, but sometimes it's overlap and programs can't happen on the day that they're supposed to, and that's fine. We just adjust and we go with the program that gets developed. The other thing we have to do is make sure we have volunteers to mentor the students. We have engineering mentors attend all the events with the students during the day, every day of the camp, so that there can be an interaction between the students and the mentors, and the students can find out what engineers are really doing at these different events. Prepare an advertising plan. As I said, this is a very difficult thing to do, but you need to get the word out early on and start advertising in October of year 2 before the camp begins in June of the third year. So get that advertising plan together, put somebody really active in charge of that, and start advertising over the internet with your engineering societies, through the schools, have meetings with PTAs. Get the word out there. It's very difficult. Next, place the application on the website. That needs to be done in year 2 by September so that students can start signing up early. This is very critical if you're offering discounts in the program because of early sign-up. But as soon as you start advertising, you need to be able to have people reach the application and sign up. All right, now we're in year 3 and we're running our first camp. You start receiving applicants in the year before in September. So the sooner that you get applicants in, the better. You don't necessarily have to have the payment come in until the year of the camp. So the applicant can come in September, October, November of the prior year, but the payments don't have to start coming in until January, February, March, April. The other thing that's real important is you've got to update your schedule and your changes. You have to confirm, confirm, confirm. So you've got to continue to go through your schedule, work with your track leaders, work with your day planners, make sure they coordinate it with all the events and they have everything under control. Next thing is confirm volunteers and mentors. Again, your day leaders and your track leaders can help accomplish this. During this time frame also, we use the Boy Scout program to certify our volunteers. They go through a youth protection training that's done over an internet system. The Boy Scouts charge about $15 a person to do that program. We ask the volunteers to contribute that cost. Those volunteers that don't, we pick up that cost in the fees that we charge to the students. The next thing you got to have is a thank you coordinator. Get a thank you coordinator on in that third year. They need to capture from all of the volunteers and all the event places the right person to send thank you notes to. We recommend for all of the volunteers and engineering mentors that a thank you letter goes to their employer, not to them. They can get a copy of it, but we like to send it to their employers so their employers know that they're contributing to this program and their employers continue to support it. So the thank you letter gets to be a critical piece, and it's something that we need to do. You need to get that information from all of the mentors and volunteers prior to the camp. Once they get to the camp, they won't give you that information. And after the camp's over, they won't give you that information. Get that information up front. Last thing before you start the camp in June is confirm, confirm, confirm. Any written contracts you have, make sure that you have made your payments under those contracts that are required, particularly for buses, meals, fees, and for dormitories and other contract entities that you may have. Again, the scouting organization is excellent in writing these contracts and negotiating these contracts with the providers for us. And it's a great service that they're able to provide and why they're a partner in this. Okay, the camp is ready to start. It's day one. The students are arriving Sunday evening and along with their parents, and you need extra copies of the schedule, the whole week's schedule. Parents want those copies so they know where the kids are during the week. The students need those. The volunteers need those. So have a heavy supply of extra copies of your schedule. It's very critical. While the students are checking in with their parents, it's important to confirm all of the emergency information that's in the application with the parent so that if there's been any changes, we're aware of those. We need to know medications. We need to know food allergies and other things like that. Also with the parents, confirm the parents' responsibility to come and get their student if they are disruptive to the program. They also need to know, the parent needs to know that they're not going to be reimbursed the fees if their child is thrown out of the program. We've been doing this for 16 years. We've never had to kick a student out of the program, but this is a safety valve. You just need to have that done with the parents when they drop their children off at the camp. On that first day, Sunday, confirm all of the daily volunteers for the next day and that evening. Confirm all the events going on for the next day. Have your designated day and track leaders confirm on a daily basis what is planned for that next day. It's important also to make sure you have a male and a female volunteer for each overnight on the campus. It's a requirement of proper protection and handling children. We cannot leave them alone. We have to have adult supervision there at all times, male and female. So make sure you've confirmed that you have those volunteers lined up. They get an opportunity to relive their days on a college campus and spend a night in a dorm. Confirm buses the day before every day. Confirm, confirm, confirm. Make sure all meals are scheduled for the next day. and that the meal providers have already been paid for those meals. Okay, the camp is over with. It's been a great success. Everybody's had a blast. The students have all gone home. But you need to have your July meeting. That is the time to sit down and thank all of your volunteers on your committee and all of your mentors in person and thank them for the effort of the camp. It's also the time to get feedback from them so that you can make changes to your program and improve your program. We also make the students give us an evaluation of the camp before they leave camp, and we go over those evaluations and make changes. The whole goal of the evaluation process is to make the camp better for the students. Set up your next meeting. Congratulate, like I said, congratulate everybody at your meeting. Review the student evaluations. Develop any lessons learned from that process. And then go ahead and make adjustments to next year's plan. Also, work with your volunteers that are there at this July meeting and make sure that they're all committed for next year again. A lot of the volunteers will like to switch events and move around and take on different activities, but get them confirmed, make any shifts to that program that you want to do, and get that all locked in. Okay. The Atlanta Post thanks you for participating. The Exploring Engineer Academy Committee sitting here with me today thanks you. And the Atlanta Area Council of the Boy Scouts, thank you for participating. We're available to answer additional questions here at the end of the meeting. And in addition to that, you're invited, since you've been on this webinar, come and join us for this next year's camp on the 5th through the 10th of June, 2016 here in Atlanta. Just call Richard Morales, 404-275-6430, and just call us or email us and we can get that information to you. But you can come and join us for a half a day or an all day or see what we're doing. We'd be glad to do that. In addition to that, a lot of our committee members travel around the country, and if you've started a investigation into this and began committee meetings starting up a program in your area, we'd be glad to stop by and meet with your committee sometime and give them some face-to-face lessons learned. Also, members of our Atlanta Post SAME are traveling around the country also, and they're willing to stop and meet with your committees or with your organizations and give them a presentation on the Exploring Engineer Academy or answer questions. With that, here's a slide that shows you our longtime committed attendees, the Atlanta Area Council of the Boy Scouts, the Atlanta SAME Post, the Georgia Engineering Foundation, which we use as a backbone for the organization. In addition to that, this webinar has been recorded and is available for use. If you need a copy of it, you can contact SAME National and that can be provided. At this time, I'm turning the meeting back over to Mark, and we're ready to try to take on some questions.
Hey, Jack, thank you so much for doing the webinar. We really appreciate it. We have one question that was referencing, how much do the students pay to attend the camp? If you could revisit that. The cost.
Am I live? Okay, yes. The cost today to the students in our camp, we started out at about $400 back 16 years ago. We're now up to $950. We do have some available scholarships, and the application includes an opportunity for students to ask for aid in attending. But we're up to $950 now. Most of that cost, big portions of that cost, are dormitories, meals, and buses. We use buses 4 days a week to get around to all the events that we go to, and just spend 1 day of the camp on the Georgia Tech campus touring events, although they live on the campus the whole week.
Thank you, Jack. We have another question. How many students do you allow in your program each time it happens?
Yeah, good question. When we first started this program, we started with 10 students the first few years. We grew it to 20, and 20 was sort of a cap of what some of our events could handle at one time, and what we were able to get around town using the MARTA system, the subway system. So we had capped the program at 20 for many years. Just a few years ago, the SAME Atlanta Post said, we need to grow this program, and they funded us some extra money, and they started providing it, and we started expanding the program. The last 3 years, we've had 42, 52, and 61 students attend, and that's why we have 2 buses now, and the cost has gone up.
Thanks, Jack. We have one more question. How do you handle the overnight supervision of the students? I can imagine that's probably one of the harder parts of running this camp.
Well, actually, it becomes very simple because we take all the volunteers and we ask for volunteers to come back and spend the night on campus and be with the students. We usually get volunteers that are willing to do that. They go through the BSA training to know that how to handle students and what to do and how to be safe around kids. And they sleep in the dorm with the kids in separate rooms, but on the floors, separated out by the girls on one floor and the boys on one floor, and they supervise the students overnight. It's really been a problem for us. We get plenty of volunteers to do that. The more children you have to move from maybe 1 volunteer per night per sex to 2 or 3, but that's a great problem to have.
We don't have any other questions at this time. Again, Jack, thank you so much. Jim, Justin, everybody, thank you so much for participating in this. Justin, did you have any other questions or comments to add to Jack's presentation?
No, I did want to say, can I be heard?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, great. I just wanted to say thank SAME and the Atlanta Area Council for allowing us to introduce this academy to the other scouting, the rest of the scouting family. And I also wanted to say that what Jack has laid out is a template that can be used with other exploring career clusters. So if you don't have access to a great university in your community, or if you have a stronger interest in other careers, skilled trades perhaps, you can still take the same template, the same format, maybe not with the same partnership if there's no SAME chapter in your area, but you could partner with another agency and focus on another career. So what you have is a clear breakdown of how to get a successful academy up and running long term. And so certainly I know a lot of you heard 3 years and like, oh, what? Take 3 years? I need results now. That's fine, but if you want to have an excellent long-term successful academy, 16 years running, you really need to look at the format that Jack has laid out and what they have introduced. I think it's a great opportunity that everyone should really give consideration. If you can't do the full program, look at ways you can do parts until you can get up to a full-level program. But as he said, this webinar will be saved and be visible. It's recorded. So if you need to look at it again and again to kind of see what you can make most of out of this, please do so. And I'll leave it at that.
Well, thank you, everybody, for joining us. We're going to sign out. And again, this recording will be sent out to all the registrants and all the attendees. And please feel free to share it with all the other Boy Scout organizations, and we'll share it with all the SAME posts. Thank you, guys. Have a good day.
Awesome.
I hope so.
Hello?
list I saw yesterday, and everybody found out there were like 60 people. Is that what it was on the? 60 people originally signed up. Panels were additional. And so half of the people that had signed up. Yeah, people that didn't, they're all getting hot. So he signed up. So I'm going this week vacation and do a vacation. The last minute, need a better turnout. And Richard had a concept. Richard's going to show up at the national and we had to be there for a national conference. Sitting west of the Sunday morning, we'll be at that conference also come up there. Rob, but they're going to help us play the place. you know, you can start to program off one or you can expand it to 6 pages. I mentioned it 4 times. I heard Atlanta. I used it 3 or 4 times. And in the last slide, so still right here if you want to see it. I'm disappointed that we couldn't hear Justin. Well, yeah. But he kept breaking in and out. He must have been on a Wi-Fi. He's in charge of the Southern Division. There's 2 other guys. There's 3 divisions. And there's 2 other guys, actually. I am Eastern National Fund. They all know you. But this program, you know, I hate to upset people too. You know, you can do it in voice chat. You just need to find a person. But you can reach out all over you. It doesn't have to be just done at 6 cities. You know, if you're in a smaller city, you do a 3-day. You can do overnight if you don't have a university there. Oh, you're lucky. Thank you all for coming. Well, I'm sorry we didn't have a decent you should need to do something. I